Today I am off to visit a town that I must get recommended in my inbox 3-4 times a week. I'm not joking. So many people have said you've got to go to this place because it has done something pretty special. Now, you'll have seen from my channel that a lot of areas, especially in the north, dealt with serious post-industrial decline, losing the dominant industries in certain places, and what is left now is sort of deprived, there's not much work, and essentially just run down areas. Now, the place I'm going to today has apparently bucked that trend. Whilst it didn't avoid the jaws of post-industrial decline, it has somehow reinvented itself and created a place which I've heard is pretty special and could be a blueprint for towns, not just in the north of England, but all over the country. So I'm so intrigued to get there and see if the rumours are true. And like a lot of my other videos, I love chasing specific industries that places once had. And this town was super famous for the production of glass. So like Sheffield had steel, Dundee had jute. Today we are going to go see if we can find glass in Barnsley. Okay, so here we are in Barnsley, and straight out the door this place, seriously celebrating the heritage of the history of glass, because look at this, the glassworks. Some huge complex up there called the Glassworks. So that's going to be great to go and check out, see what's in there. So what made Barnsley so great for producing glass? Well, it was the abundance of certain ingredients in the local area. So you had easy to access sand, you had limestone, and you had coal. These three ingredients that are vital for producing glass. And it can be dated back to the early 17th century, where glass will have been produced on a small level in things called glass houses. And mainly it will have been bottles being made, and it will have been small windows for houses, small shops, things like that. And I don't know if, well, I'm sure this is the case, but you arrive at Barnsley and suddenly there is just glass everywhere. Big glass elevator. Lovely glass. It's all over this bridge. I think this is going to be a good one today. So much of it already. More glass over what looks like the bus station there. But yeah, it was the Industrial Revolution which really changed things here in Barnsley. And the reason for that again was, well, there's a few, but one was the abundance of coal fields that surround Barnsley and the hills surrounding all this area, which just gave, even before the railways arrived, it just gave easy access to all this coal, meaning that you could burn furnaces for longer and you can burn them at much hotter temperatures, just speeding up the process. It's no coincidence that Sheffield, which isn't too far away from here, super famous for producing steel. Again, it was because of these coal fields that were nearby, and the same was with Barnsley. And then the second one, obviously, the railways arriving was crazy, but especially for Barnsley and glass producing, because you've got to imagine glass, it's incredibly fragile, incredibly hard to transport. Roads, they weren't like what we have today. Roads will have been really bumpy and rocky and making the transportation of glass really hard. Then there obviously was the canals, which were very safe, very smooth, but incredibly slow. So yeah, when the railways arrived, they brought this super quick, super safe, super steady transportation of glass, which meant all this work could just be exported around the country and further afield. So look at that, look at all the glass that is on show in this central section. I think this is the glassworks here. Oh yeah, everything, just great big bits of glass. That is great to see. Yeah, imagine back in the day before you had railways trying to transport huge pieces of glass by road. This is an advertisement for this absolute beast of a drone, the Hover Air Pro Max. Now, you might have seen in a recent video, I crashed my old drone and it died. And Hover Air got in touch and said, can we sponsor a video? And I said, absolutely, and I've loved this piece of kit. So I thought I'd bring it out into the beautiful Yorkshire Hills as I'm on a run and show you some of the features. With a touch of one button, I don't even need the remote. This thing will follow me. Now, I've been absolutely blown away by just how good the tracking features on this drone are. Now, I was going as fast as I could down these hills thinking there's no way it's keeping up with me, and it did the whole time. But also, the manual control, flying this drone with the remote, you can capture some absolutely beautiful shots. And it doesn't look it today, but it was super windy, and this drone was absolutely fine. There was no stuttering, there was no wobbling around, and I love the fact it can just track and return to home when the battery is running low like it did here. Now, if you are interested in a drone at the moment, I'm going to link everything below. You should check out Hover Air. The versatility of these drones is just unbelievable, from the amazing capability of tracking through forests to the beautiful, still panoramic shots that you can get on incredibly windy days where it just shows no sign of the elements at all. This thing, I've taken it all over the place now, has never let me down. So if you're in the market for a drone that can do absolutely anything, you've got to check out Hover Air. All right, back to the video. Oh, that glass up there as well. So yeah, this is super nice. I'm pretty sure this is the glassworks. But yeah, they've done a great job of this. I wonder when this was built. I'll try find out. Oh yeah. Yeah, there we go, the glassworks. Created by the glassworks. Barnsley Market. Let's have a look in here.
Them watermelons, yeah.
I have been to so many markets in my time, and one feature that most of them have is half the units are closed, or a lot of the units are closed, and they don't feel busy. Whereas everything feels open. Everything feels busy. Super interesting stalls. This is awesome to see. Antique, second-hand jewellers and repairs. You got your flower store, clover leaf flowers. Got your barbers in there.
Throwing a hell of a lot of money to it, but I mean, I don't know if you've seen other vlogs and stuff, and everyone I've seen, it's like, it's packed.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think, no disrespect to other places, like, I'm not mentioning that there's a lot of rundown areas, isn't there?
100%, yeah.
Like towns, and I think in a lot of them come here, like,
Yeah.
there's trains and bus services.
Yeah.
I think it's still in early stages, like, but I think they've took a bit of a gamble, but I think it's paying off.
Yeah. What's your name?
It's Andy.
Andy, lovely to meet you, mate. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, nice fella there saying that Barnsley did take a bit of a gamble. It spent a lot of money on doing it up, but he reckons that this is the place nearby where everyone's just started to come to. It's had that regeneration, and it seems to have worked. Mike's famous bookstall. Yorkshire Rose Holidays. Check that out. This is like a travel agent, but it's got all like the local trips going away. Whitley Bay, Wednesday the 13th, 23 quid. Bridlington, Tuesday the 19th, 23 quid. Where are you thinking? Where should we go?
Nowhere yet.
Oh, Landudno could be nice.
I'm going in 3 weeks.
Are you going on a cruise? Oh, that's a bit better than Landudno maybe, but how much was the cruise? This is only 23 quid.
Oh, well, I'm going for a week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you? Oh, nice. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so Barnsley, it's really built the trend. It's an historic market town. It's been hundreds and hundreds of years. We've had its market charter. From the 70s probably up to mid-2000s, it was in such a state of decline. We've just spent millions doing it up, and now we get like 7 coach trips from all over the country coming in each week and things like that. And they always liaise with us, obviously being a coach company within market. And it's a fantastic place. Last week, I don't know if you checked out the Barnsley Live event on. Over 200 bands played over 30 venues, all for free in town centre. Yeah, it's a really vibrant place. It's booking trend. It's sort of jewel in Yorkshire at the moment. Family-run company. Been going about 25 years now. So
No way.
yeah, so we've just introduced a fleet of wheelchair accessible vehicles as well.
Nice.
So we're also catering for disabled passengers and
Brilliant.
things like that. Yeah, so straight from the beginning. I mean, I grew up in the 80s in Barnsley. Straight on back of miners' strike, things like that. And it were it were an hard time, Barnsley in the 80s. And going through 90s, it started to build up a bit of regeneration. But now it's thriving. I mean, it's not without its problems. And a lot of older generation, I think, they're still craving the traditions that Barnsley used to have as an old mining town. But we do still sort of value as heritage.
I mean, I think that's all you can do, like celebrate and value the heritage, and it seems like straight away they're doing that. So you can't really ask for anything more from a place. Celebrate the history and do that.
So it's a decent place now. It's best I've ever known it. I'm 44-year-old.
Nice. So your company's Yorkshire Rose Coaches?
Yorkshire Rose Coach, we're Yorkshire Rose Holidays.
Yeah.
Yorkshire Rose Coaches is part of that.
Yeah, brilliant. That was so great. That awesome shop, I absolutely love that. Yorkshire Rose Holidays, doing traditional coach trips away. Right, I've just got to pause this video a second because I had a really interesting interaction after I'd made this video, after I'd filmed it. So I was in the pub in my hometown, my local hometown, and I got chatting to someone at the bar, and they said they owned a couple of pet shops. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. It'll be interesting to hear how they're getting on. And he said, oh, you know, the one in this town's struggling. It's really hard competing with online sales. And then he went, I just wish everywhere could be like Barnsley. And I was like, whoa, I've literally just filmed this video in Barnsley. And I was really impressed with how busy it looked, how all the shops looked full, and especially the market. And he was like, that is where we've got our pet shop that does so well in the market. So I just thought I had to pause the video to add this in as, I found that as my experience. I did find it to be really busy, and it was super interesting to hear from someone, not even in Barnsley, it was in another town later on, just that callback saying, Barnsley is doing well, especially the market. Right, back to the video. What a market. So good. Can I get a couple of quid's worth of them? Right, that place I was well impressed with that, to be fair. It's been, I don't think I've ever seen a market that looks as prosperous as doing well. And interestingly, when I was buying them sweets, then that woman said that Thursdays, which it is today, is the quiet day. She was like, oh, well, I kind of wish we didn't have to open on Thursdays, but it seemed well busy to me, so I assume it's even busier, which is great, but let's hunt on for some more glass. And keep talking. Where did we get up to? We were talking about the things that made it so big during the Industrial Revolution. So obviously, what did the Victorian era bring? It brought wealth, it brought grandeur, and it brought the need for beautiful glass to fit the beautiful buildings. A bit like that one over there. These wonderful structures, a time when we had money to spend in this country. So again, that just played into Barnsley. Barnsley's prominence, a place where you could get this great glass. You could get the great glass to fit the aesthetic of the time. And there was a building up here which is unbelievable. So nice. What is this? Right. Yeah. Little vlogging camera. Cool, isn't it? I like it. I'm just making a video about the history of glass in Barnsley. Are you from Barnsley?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Do you remember any of the days when glass was prominent?
No.
No?
Way before. I'm nearly 60, but it was before my time. I was in my 20s when I found out.
Wow, yeah.
It was just, I just asked my father, what are these two blokes on this hot flat? He goes, well, one of it's mine and one of it's glass ones. It was my glass ones. So it weren't prominent when I was.
Yeah. Was it mining then that you were?
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the mining history?
Yeah, but that went, obviously, Thatcher.
Yeah. What was the employment then when you were a lad?
I joined the army instead.
Oh, you went to the army? Oh, right, yeah.
But basically, any of lads, if they left school, they could go out mine next day.
Yeah.
Literally next day.
Wow, yeah.
Which one of my mates did, he was a year above me. But my father, he didn't say, but he went out mine when he was 15.
So it was interesting, that fella saying then that, yeah, he didn't even know about the glass industry in Barnsley until he asked his dad once about, it's the coat of arms, I'm sure we'll come across it at some point, where there is a miner and there's a glass blower. Now, it was interesting him saying that back when he was a lad, you turned 16, you could have gone down the pits the next day. And we will get to the sort of what happened when the mines closed in Barnsley. But before that, you've got to assume that the boom of the Industrial Revolution brought so much wealth to Barnsley. And yeah, it was creating so much different glassware, from windows to bottles to tableware and ornamental stuff. And obviously that was great for a long time until plastic came along. And then what does plastic do? Well, plastic just removes the need for the majority of glass bottles. Plastic suddenly can just be used for so much different stuff. It's easier to make, it's cheaper to make. And yeah, that massively affected Barnsley. Also, when you just start importing, you're just importing what glass you do remain, be that windows, be that other stuff from other cheaper countries, all hitting hard onto the town of Barnsley. Plastic as well, a lot less fragile than glass. You can drop your bottle of ketchup and it doesn't break. It was appealing, it really was. But it's interesting as well because obviously glass, one of the most sustainable materials out there, it can just be recycled infinitely. It just keeps going without having to need to source new ingredients. And yet we just switch to plastic and let that take over. Oh, here we go. Is it there? There we go. There's the coat of arms I was just talking about, literally just before. So up there on the coat of arms, you've got the glass blower on the left there, and you've got the miner on the right. The two industries that fueled this town. Oh, here we go.
We've got Wood Brothers, number 10, which is on here. Made in Barnsley for the Great Exhibition.
So that was made in 1851.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
And that was made for the Great Exhibition at Crystal Palace.
No, I don't, but that sounds very interesting.
Well, it was like Victorian times. It was, I suppose, it was everything wonderful that the country was doing at the time, was making.
Oh, so it would have been like glass, Sheffield steel, Stoke pottery.
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
I'd love to go there.
So you've got your glass swans.
Oh, there it is. Oh, there they are. The swans there. Oh,
you've
wow,
got
look at
glass
those.
swans. Apprentice glassmakers learnt their trade by making novelty pieces like this. You've got
Oh, it's the Milkman bottles.
Milkman Cash and Bot.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
How ace is that? Talking about the Crystal Palace show where they used to get all the industries. So you'd have all of the glass from up here, you'd have all of the pottery Stoke, you'd probably have some jute from Dundee, all in one place. It'd make my videos a lot easier, wouldn't it? There's an interesting quote here. It said, "Industry," talking about the glass, "brought a living for most and prosperity for a few." Wow. How relevant to most big industries still today as well, isn't it? Thinking of a specific one that you'll get delivered to your door most days by a flustered chap in a white van. And there, Barnsley Sixth Form College, another lovely use of loads of glass. Some sort of glass monument here. Britain's Call for Men. Oh, November 1914, it's a war call up, printed on glass. Crazy. You've got all this really cool history on show here, just showing Barnsley throughout the ages. It was granted its market charter in 1249. That's super interesting, super great history on show beneath some cool big monument. So the woman in the museum was saying there used to be, there is a shopping centre that when the glassworks came along, it kind of fell into the same sort of state as probably a lot of the shopping centres that I've shown you on this channel that are just empty and waiting for redevelopment to be turned into probably housing. However, they've done something pretty cool with the one here, as they're going to turn it into hospital help and NHS help and have all of the units in there for specific things like that. Right, let's go down here, the Victorian Arcade. What are these things?
They're collectible figures.
Collectible figures? Are they called pop movies? Wow. Do you sell a lot of them? I'm guessing you do. There's a lot of them. That's crazy. Any of you seen one of them before? What is it? A pop shop? A pop thing? Man, it's like the new Pokemon, isn't it? Obviously, I'm a bit old now, but maybe that's all the trend at the moment, them little things. Let me know. Very cool.
Keep telling my girlfriend that she'll not have it.
Loads of independent, interesting stuff. Another one of these, GV Travel. Look what you can do. Should we go see Mamma Mia? Should we see ABBA Voyage? Or should we see Lord of the Dance? I think it would have to be ABBA Voyage for me. Always wanted to see that, not gonna lie. Lovely, I think that's the glass that we saw on the... Yeah, that's the bus station, isn't it? Lovely bit of glass. Right, what we got here? Do you know, I was about to say another thing I've noticed is just how clean the streets are. But then I saw that. However, that aside, it is a very, very clean town. Super, super clean. So this is about another industry that was here, the linen industry. Yeah, so there was glass, there was coal mining, and there was linen. So back in the day, you would have had that choice of job. Which one do you want to go into? I reckon I'd have been down the mines, to be fair. Glass blowing. I'd burn myself too much. I burnt myself yesterday on my air fryer. I don't think I could handle glass blowing. Barnsley College there, another nice building. Church over here. What is it? Faded sign. St Mary the Virgin. Was she heck? She's pulling your leg. That's an interesting solitary building there, isn't it? Next to all the modern offices and flats. And you got this little house refusing to go. Wonder what the crack there is. Look what I found here. The only one of the day, but it is a nice little short stubby one, a mill chimney. What is this place from the other side? Very cool looking building. Looks like an old mansion more than a mill, doesn't it? Interesting. Looks abandoned. Not a bit of work going on in it. Hopefully not the end. So with the arrival of plastic as an alternative to glass, and also just with those cheap imports of glass from other countries, much easier to transport now. You've got planes, you've got ships. Things can be transported a lot more easily. And then at the same time as this, you had the decline of the coal industry, the mining industry in this country. And it became a sort of mirror of collapse, because the coal industry fueled the glass industry here in Barnsley, which was drying up. So in return, the coal industry sort of dried up. They could no longer work cohesively together. It wasn't the main reason for the glass industry's decline, or vice versa, but it was interesting that the two were so vital for each other, were so beneficial for each other to exist. And yeah, sadly then the main effects of the mines shutting down in the 80s, just bringing mass unemployment. And like I said, the unemployment came from all sides. The coal, the mining, but also what that fueled the glass industry. Just serious deprivation and unemployment, which in a lot of areas has been, and a lot of areas that I visited, has been irreversible. And the damage and the rot set in and just didn't clear. Now it's really nice to come to a place like Barnsley where it does seem to have kept, well, it definitely, obviously, it had all those problems and it dealt with that. And then it got money, it clearly got money. I've been all around the country looking at places that they've been given loads of money to go do something, turn your place around, turn your city, turn your town around. And most of the time they just fuck it. But everyone's saying I've met, they've said, oh, they did it well here. They took the gamble and they put it into the right places, and it seems to have worked, which is just ace to see. Big queue for the Baked Potato Company. Might have to get this. Hot dang, look at that. I'm gonna need to take a minute because this ain't gonna be pretty. It ain't gonna be pretty. Just gonna move away from obviously the sensational performer singing a couple of songs. So it's a sculpture of Kes from the book and film you've probably seen, Kes, by Barry Hines, an author who wrote a lot about and had the backdrop of, in a lot of his stuff, the sort of post-industrial Britain, especially in the north, the sort of struggles of the working class in the north. Right, this place is the place they are turning into the place for like assistants for the hospital and doctors. I'm not sure if it's happening already upstairs or if downstairs will turn as well, but it's not too bad, to be fair. I thought it'd be more closed. I was expecting way worse. I was expecting it all to be closed. Let's have a look upstairs, see if that's where everything started to shut down to be moved into the NHS help. Okay, so yeah, up here looks like where everything is shut down. You got Wilkinson's closed down back there, but these closed down areas are probably the bit they're gonna utilise for other causes. And look at that lovely bit of glass. Lovely bit of glass. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful glass. And I like this all around the town as well. You've got sculptures just on random buildings. This one of miners going down the pit. Oh, you've got everything on here actually. You've got the miner there with his pickaxe and davy lamp. There's all the coal down here. Here's the glass blower with his long glass blower there. And the women as well, who will have worked in the linen factories. You've literally got everything on there. That's ace. There's the old mill wheel. What a sculpture. Love it. Another statue here celebrating, what's this? The childcare shop, council workers, bus drivers, transport workers, cleaners, collection crews, delivery drivers, armed forces and all the members of the community. Very cool. And it seems fitting on the way back. Let's use this big glass. There's an elevator. Oh yeah. We're going up. So this town, Barnsley, the town of glass. And it has been really, really fun to come and see. I've genuinely loved it. I thought that market was incredible. I've never seen a market as prosperous or as doing well as that one there, which was great to see. And the rest of the town does look really good as well. It just looks busy. It looks like people are utilising it and coming in. And that is just a huge thing. Everyone seemed positive as well. Seemed positive and kind of looking forward. Which is interesting as well, because a lot of these places you go to, a lot of places I go and visit, you get a lot of people who just, they look back and they go, oh, it was better then, and I think Barnsley's kind of accepted, well, it was good back then, but then it wasn't good at all, it was bad, so all we can do now is look forward and preserve the interest in history, which I think they've done a really good job of, like with the giant glassworks there that we wandered around, and all the other interesting history that they've kept on show. About not just the glassworks, but about the mining history as well, and the linen history. So much interesting stuff. And I think it is safe to say as well, like, it has bucked the trend from most places that I go and visit, especially these small, northern, remote, post-industrial towns. It certainly has done something different. And it might not even be anything crazy. Like, I think they obviously got a load of money, and they used it wisely and in the right places. And as I say, I've been to so many different places where they've clearly been given loads of money to do something, and then over the space of like 5 years they just seem to fuck it all and spend it all in the wrong places and lose it, and then they end up either in a worse place because you've just got loads of building work started that's just being left, or you've just got no money left at all. And maybe this place, the reason why it did well is because it just spent the money correctly in the right place. So fair play, whoever it was, Barnsley Council or wherever you got the money, you did a good job. You didn't fuck it.